We have in the Megillah a fascinating story here, and we're going to analyze one thing. We're going to analyze the day the camel went to the horse race. The day the camel went to the horse race. How do we see that in the Megillah? So you didn't see that part, right?
That part. I never heard that part.
You fell asleep during that part.
I guess so.
So, I'll explain it all. The Gemara says, Gemara learns out. Right? Here I'll show you the Gemara inside. You can follow along. The Gemara is on Daf Yud Ches Amud Aleph. And the Gemara is talking about someone who does not understand different languages. So it calls him a loyez. Loyez is from the word laz. He doesn't understand other languages, so it's like laz comes from the word strange language. So here, let me show you here exactly where we're going to start.
Sure.
Here we go. The haloyes sheshama ashuris, a foreigner. Here, you can look on first over here, and we'll start from there. A loyes, a foreigner who doesn't understand ashuris. What's ashuris? Which language is ashuris? So it's referring to the holy tongue, to Lashon HaKodesh. Now, the reason why it's called ashuris is because it's a rich language. It's very rich. The holy tongue, Lashon HaKodesh, is unlike any other language that's full of every word has nuances and different ideas in every word. That's why it's called ashuris. It's a rich language, not only in how you read it and how you speak it, but how it's written is also the words themselves. There's a lot of different meanings. So that's called ashuris. So the Gemara there says, a loyez, let's say someone is a foreigner, he doesn't know how to understand or how to speak Hebrew yet. So he comes to the Megillah and he listens, right? And he hears him read the whole Megillah. So the Gemara says, "Loyes." See the words? Loyes shesham ashuris. Where was that? Over there.
Ashuris has fulfilled his obligation.
Yotza. He has fulfilled his obligation, and he has done what he has needed to. So the Gemara asks the question: how could you fulfill your obligation? V'hala yada. Right? Does it continue? But he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what they're talking about, what they read. So how could you fulfill your obligation of reading a Megillah if you don't know what he said? He could have just been talking about the Declaration of Independence. Why are you fulfilling your obligation by listening to someone reading Hebrew if you have not understood every word in it? That's the Gemara's question, which is really, well, we're going to put what you mentioned just now is going to be the Gemara's answer. So the Gemara answers, Midi dahave anoshim. The answer is because it's just like the anoshim, the Midi dahave anoshim, just like the ladies, and Ame Haaretz, the people who are unlearned, they don't know how to read so good, they don't know how to understand. How could they fulfill the mitzvah of the Megillah? So therefore it must be from the fact that we know that ladies do hear the Megillah, and the unlearned people also hear the Megillah. So how do they fulfill their obligation? So it must be that you don't have to understand what you're saying, you just have to read it. You just have to hear it being read, and then you get your mitzvah, which is really what you said.
That's what I was heard.
That's really what you just said. So now, on that the Gemara says, oh yeah? That means that the learned people, they understand what the whole Megillah is saying. The question is, Ravina asked the question that Atu, what about the Anan, what about the big wise sages? Do we understand the following verse? Let's turn to the Chumash and look inside by the following words. The following words were the Achashtronim b'nei Aramachim. Did you get that word? You know what that word means? Achashtronim b'nei Aramachim. Let's look at it inside. The Parak 8, chapter 8, pasuk 10. Pasuk 10. So that would be 12:50. Beautiful. Yes, it is. 12:59 even. So what happened was, I'll give you a recount of the story, that Achashverosh, this is towards the end of the Megillah, Achashverosh, the beginning of chapter 8 says, right at the beginning of chapter 8 says that that Haman was killed there, and right, that was the end of chapter 7 actually, that Haman was hung. And then chapter 8 starts the fact that Ahasuerus, he gave the whole estate of Haman to Esther, and he said, "What can I do for you?" So she said, "What I really need is, I don't want you to kill out the Jewish nation. That's really what I need. And therefore, there's a problem here. Haman, he had you make a decree that any non-Jew could kill out the Jewish brethren on this day, on the day came out the 14th day of Adar. Ahasuerus gave a decree that's stating that all the non-Jews, they could take revenge on the Jewish people. So all the Jews were very much in trepidation, and they were scared. So Esther said, "Could you reissue the decree and state that they can't do it?" So on that, he said, "Well, I cannot reissue a decree because you can't revoke. You can't revoke. Once the king makes it, you cannot revoke a decree. And therefore, he said, what I could do something else." If you look here, it said that, right, because once it's sealed and the king gives an edict and it's sealed with the king's ring, you can't take it back. But what I could do is the following: I could say that everyone that the Jews have a right to take revenge back. Right? This is what the verse, let's read it inside. In verse 9, the king's secretaries were summoned at that time, and it was on the 23rd day, and it was written exactly as Mordechai dictated to the Jews, right? And what happened? They wrote their script. What did they write? In the name of Ahasuerus, that what? So if you skip to verse 11, it says that King Ahasuerus gave the Jews permission to defend themselves and to attack back and to exterminate every armed force of any people that tries to threaten them. And that day, since everyone heard that the Jews were being backed by King Ahasuerus, so they didn't want to attack anymore, and instead the Jews were able to attack their enemies. But so that was what they were writing in the letter. So if you look at verse 10 says that Ahasuerus wrote this letter down that the Jews have the right to defend themselves and to attack back, and he sent his letter off. Now, he wanted to get there as quick as possible, right? So he sent it off. How did he send it? So it says in verse 10, he wrote it in the name of Ahasuerus, and he signed it with the ring of the Melech, the signet of the king. And he sent out these books, or these letters, in the hands of the runners of the horses, the roichvei, the riders of the rechesh, of the forces. And then it says, here are these interesting 2-3 words. He sent them in the hands of the Achashdranim de Bnei Ramachim. Now it's not so clear what are these 2 words. It sounds a little bit like a Persian type of word. It's not clear what exactly he was doing. What did he send it with? So the Gemara says that these 2 words are very unclear. It's not simple to understand. Which 2 words? The 3 words in the end of verse 10. He sent them in the hands of the Ratzim Basusim, the ones the couriers on that ride on horses. Roichvei HaRechesh, they ride on I believe that means the mares. Right. So it's not clear. Rashi seems to say that pshat, but it wasn't clear to the Gemara what the meaning of that was. So therefore the Gemara states that we don't even know what these 3 words are. So therefore, how are even the great sages fulfilling the mitzvah of Megillah? So the Gemara says so. Rather, we'll say that even the great sages don't understand everything in the Megillah. And the reason why even the great sages, fulfill our obligation is because you don't have to understand every word in the Megillah. That's the answer. You don't have to come on to the ladies and the unlearned people. It could even be the learned people. You can learn it out from the learned people. Now, it is interesting. I'll just tell you a little bit of a question, a little deep question. Right at the beginning, the Gemara wants to know, how do I know that I fulfilled my obligation? By just listening to the words without understanding. So the answer is, we can learn out from the unlearned people. But it seems like we're going in a cycle, no? Because we're asking, how do I know that the unlearned people who don't understand it, how can they be fulfilling their obligation? The answer is, well, because they hear it. But how are they fulfilling their obligation? It's like going around in circles. This is asked by the Rashash. Rashash is short, it's an acronym for Shlomo Strashon. He asked the question. It's an interesting thing to think about. In any event, let's go further in the Gemara. So, we'll continue here. The Gemara says, so there we learn out. Hello. Rather, what we say is that you're right. You don't have to understand what you're listening to. But mitzvahs kriyas. The question is, so what are we doing? So it's a joke. We come to shul and we all bring our crackers and we're banging. So we're fulfilling our mitzvah of banging. But are we fulfilling the mitzvah of Megillah? How does that work? Why are we fulfilling our mitzvah if we don't understand what we're talking about? We never have such a concept. Well, almost.
Sorry, I mean, you don't have to understand every word. Like Kevin said, you have to know what happened. You have the oral tradition.
So we know the general law, but the general idea.
The history lesson. Like Hanukkah.
You have to know enough. I guess it's when you the banging. You have to know enough to bang out.
Oh, so you're saying an amount? So there's amounts. You have to know enough when to bang.
To bang, yeah, enough when to bang.
That's an interesting qualification. Well, that's pretty easy. Just watch when everyone else bangs. But so you're saying
When you catch on as you go along, though, you realize you're doing it at Haman.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know at first, you know by like.
So I want to ask you a question. Let's say you have a fellow. He just walks right in. You bring in a fellow, right? Gedalia is bringing in a fellow. For the Purim meal. The guy doesn't know anything. He's just coming in off the street. He never even saw the movie. He's Jewish.
Okay.
He's Jewish, but he doesn't know the story.
Okay.
It doesn't get worse than that.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know the story. He grew up on a farm in Missouri. So he comes into the Megillah. Farms in Missouri, right?
Yeah.
No, they're farm boys from Missouri.
No,
Jewish farm boys.
No, whatever. But you have to. But the question is, you bring in a guy who doesn't know the story, and he's listening to every word, but he has no idea what they're talking about. Does he get a mitzvah of Megillah? He doesn't know the theme. Number two, he doesn't know who Haman is. So he doesn't know why he's banging. Would he get a mitzvah?
I guess the answer is yes, because the idea you have to hear it, right? That's why I've always been heard.
Well,
People, you hear the Megillah. You hear it. Yes. Oh, okay, good.
That's literal. But doesn't mean, so you think it's very literal.
how is he supposed to learn?
You gotta sit down and learn. You gotta make time to
The
learn.
first step by hearing it for the first
It's a
time.
beautiful step. Beautiful first step.
Yeah.
It's true. But does he have to at least take a few Hebrew lessons first? Does he have to know who Haman is? Hebrew lessons in literature, reading comprehension, or at least does he have to at least read the notes, the cliff notes? Have you got to read the cliff notes? Or
I would have to say that
or you can read English?
that the same principle applies, because just as there's different levels of knowledge, the sages don't understand every word. So he doesn't understand any word. They still listen. He's still there. He's still fulfill the mitzvah.
No, you realize that's a big jump that you're making, because there's 3 levels at least we're coming out with. We have the sages who know everything, except for these 2 words of who they sent these couriers on to send the letters. But they know the whole story and they know every other word. Then you have the next level of at least they know the general story. But now you want to make a jump. This jump is right. This is one level. Now you want to make a jump down to here where the guy, he doesn't even know anything. That's a tremendous jump. You willing to make such a jump? It's a big jump. It's a big jump. So the question is, but assuming that you're both right, that this is the idea, they're supposed to hear it, but what's the deeper idea that Judaism is not a type of religion where we do things out of rote or we do things just everything has meaning, and every mitzvah that we do we're really doing the will of Hashem. So on this he is doing the will of Hashem, but what is he doing? It's like a little bit mechanical, robotic.
When you fulfill a minion, when you're one of the minion, do you actually have to know what the prayers are?
Well, what is it?
What knowledge do you need to have?
You need bar mitzvah?
You need to be bar mitzvah. Yeah.
You have to be there.
You have to be there. But when you're there, then you have a quorum. You have 10 people. It says when there's 10 people, God comes down.
Right. So he doesn't have to know anything to be on the quorum.
Right. But there he's not doing this. But that's the mitzvah is to be there. Mitzvah is to be 10, and then then Hashem comes down. And he says, "Wow, there's a group of 10. That's holy. That group is the qualifications for me to come down and rest my divine presence among you." So there, the mitzvah is to be there to pray. You did what you had to, but here you're here, but you're listening to the Megillah, but it's totally robotic. You don't even know what you're doing. Like, what is there any meaning? Right? Every mitzvah in the world, all 613 mitzvahs, have tons of meaning and tons of depth. And even though you don't have to know all the depth, but at least there should be a superficial understanding of the mitzvah. So this is the question that the Gemara is coming to address. Let's see the Gemara inside. So the Gemara says, right, Ella mitzvahs kriya uparsume nisa. Is that what it is? Here's these words. Right? But notice, by the way, when they translate these words, do they tell you what Achashtronim b'nei Ramacham are? They probably transliterated, right?
So no one understands.
Right. Which words? Achashtronim b'nei Ramacham. They don't translate it because no one understood what the words meant.
Probably was all your Alpine. All your Alpine.
No one even knows the Hebrew.
No, they didn't know. It could be these words were Hebrew, but these were, well, it was a mix maybe of Persian. It's an interesting question, but they didn't know. No, they didn't know. No one knew. Even right? Who's speaking here? Ravina. Ravina is speaking out. He's saying even we, the great sages, don't know. So how do we fulfill our obligation? So, and he's taking the jump. He's saying it doesn't matter any level. So the answer is, he says that the answer is you don't have to understand what you're reading, but the mitzvah is Ela mitzvah kriyas Megillah. The mitzvah of reading the Megillah is mitzvahs kriya or parsume nisa. The mitzvah is read the Megillah and you have a parsume, you have a glorification and spreading of the names of the miracle. That's the idea. The idea is called, we have this on Hanukkah. Hanukkah, we want to light the candles by the window. Why do we light the candles by the window? Why don't we light it in the house, in the middle of the dining room table? Right? People see it. Right. Why? Publicize the miracle. In Hebrew, that's called parsume nisa. Excellent. To publicize, we want to publicize. We want to tell everyone about, put it by the window. Someone will see it by the window. They'll say, why are they lighting their menorah there? Why are they lighting the candelabra? And they'll think back, many years ago, they lost the whole menorah, they lost all the oil, and they found one flask of oil, and it lasted for 8 days, and everyone will be reminded of the miracle. And people who didn't know the miracle will find out about it. That's called Pirsume Nisa, publicizing the miracle. So it's interesting that we have the same exact idea, the same exact objective by Purim. Purim is also to publicize the miracle. Also, we had a beautiful miracle here, right? We got saved from Haman. Haman, they made a whole decree against us. So we want to publicize that miracle. How do we do that? We don't light candles on Purim. Well, we read the Megillah. And when you read the Megillah, that's the mitzvah.
Reading it publicizes the miracle. But when I go, I don't read, I hear.
But when you hear it, it's like you're reading it. Because it's called, there's a special idea called, when you hear something and you have in mind that you're listening is like you're reading it. Because, let's say when the chazan, sometimes the chazan will say something, and let's say someone is listening, So like the idea why the chazan was made was because people didn't know how to pray. So what they do? So how does the chazan help? How does the cantor help it out? The answer is when you listen to the cantor and he says that he has in mind he's helping you fulfill your mitzvah, and you're listening. So listening is like talking. That's the rule. So too here by Megillah, even though you're just listening, it's like you're saying it, and you are saying the Megillah.
Can I say something else?
Yeah.
You're reading it and I'm listening, but you can't publicize unless you have an audience.
That's true too.
So I'm helping you and you're helping me.
It's true too. It's both true. Number one, we're all reading it. But number two, I could read it in my house, and you could read it in your house.
And it would still be good?
I could do it in my own house. I'll get a mitzvah of Megillah. But the main mitzvah is to do it when everyone's around. Pursue mitzvah to publicize the miracle. Everyone is hearing it, and there's 10 people, right? That's why we want to try to read it with 10 people. Because the main idea is a whole question. Let's say you just read it by yourself. Do you make the blessings before? Right? Or maybe you skip the blessings. Right? It's an interesting question. When they have like a ladies reading, or they have these other readings later on at night or in the morning. So you make a blessing before you start. There's blessings that we make. We make Mikra Megillah. We're going to make that blessing, and or we'll listen to the blessing. And when you listen, by the way, don't think you're being chipped off. Saying, oh, why is the one who's reading the Megillah, why is he making the blessing? I want to make the blessing. I'm missing out on the blessing, right? The answer is you're not missing out on a blessing, because Shomeya, listening, is like talking. That's the way it goes. So you're getting that blessing also. I'll tell you something else. Friday night. Every Friday night, right? Where'd you eat this past Friday night? Home. Where'd you eat this Friday?
I was,
who was with you? Just,
my wife.
But did you ever go out to eat? Ever went to someone's house?
Sure.
Of course. So, do you make Kiddush when you go to their house?
No, they do.
Sometimes I do, but usually they do. If there's a lot of people and I can't hear very well, if the rabbi offers, then...
Let's say you could hear very well. Would you make Kiddush? So what happens in the midst of Kiddush?
They do it for you. Yeah, they do it for you. And you drink the wine.
But you got to do Kiddush. The mitzvah is to say those holy words. Say those words.
No, but if you're in with someone else, it's okay.
How?
I don't know. That's what the rabbi told me. I really don't know the answer.
So I'm going to tell you the formula. The formula is Shomeya Ka'ona. Listening is like answering. It's like you're saying it. So that answers... Yeah. This is the mechanics. This is just how it goes. Megillah, so we have now Megillah. We have when the Chazan says certain brachos, right? When he says Shmon Esrei or certain things for, and I'm listening, Shomei Kona. And we have also Kiddush, 3 times.
Can it be like the point is to make us come together as a community? They want the Jews to congregate.
For that reason alone, it is a good idea. That's the reason why we give Mishloach Manos. That's why we give the food to a friend to come together. You're supposed to give it to. Everyone thinks you're supposed to give it to your best friend, but it's a good idea to give it also to your worst friend, or to somebody you're not so friendly with. Because Haman, when he told Achashverosh, he said, "There's one nation." If you look at how he describes the nation, he calls the nation Mefuzar u'Mefayrad. They're spread out. They're scattered. It's one scattered nation. So the idea of Mishloach Manos is we want to fix that up. We want to become close, knit together, and we each give each other some food and a nice gift, and we come to join. That's Mishloach Manos. But in terms of the Megillah is Kriya, to read it. The mitzvah is reading and publicizing the miracle. So now I want to show you an interesting Rashi here. We don't...
It's found other places.
Yeah, there's a Rashi here. And Rashi speaks out, how does this work? So Rashi says the following words. Rashi says, I'm just going to read it outside. How is their publication of the miracle? How do you publicize the miracle? So that means the person there standing right next to the chazan, he's going to hear it, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. So he's going to ask his friend, or he's going to ask another listener, what is he talking about for 20 minutes? What is he saying? Ma'i hakriya, what is this reading? What? And how was the miracle? What happened? Oh, and they prayed, and what happened? Were they successful? And he's going to ask about it. So the idea is that although when he reads it and he hears it, well, he's not reading it, but when he hears it, he doesn't know what they're saying. But even that fellow off the street, who Gedalia brings in, he also fulfills the mitzvah, because the mitzvah is to listen to the reading. And that will publicize the nace, the miracle. Why? Because you'll ask your friends, what is he talking about? Why they're begging? Sounds pretty enthusiastic there.
Why are they drinking that vodka?
So they'll get to, it'll be a publicizing the miracle through the reading of the Megillah. Even if you don't understand what they're talking about, you'll come. If you ever, you ever see a crowd gathering around someone, you always want to see who's there, what's happening over there. Same idea. That's why. That's the idea of reading the Megillah. Reading the Megillah and listening, even if you don't understand, their curiosity will be aroused. And therefore, even if you don't understand it, they will ask around and say, "What's happening here?" That's the idea of going to hear the Megillah. Even if you don't understand it, you should still go. So that's the main mitzvah for everyone. Yes, men, women, and children. And the more people who come, the more Persumei Nisa there is, the more publicizing the miracle, right? Because it's mitzvah for everyone to know. Right? It's mitzvah for men, woman, and any children over bar mitzvah. And the children who are under bar mitzvah, they still have also a mitzvah to educate them, to train them in. So therefore, what comes out from this Gemara is very important. What comes out from this Gemara is, number one, that you have to hear every word. You have to hear every word of the Megillah. That's what comes out from this Gemara. We have two conclusions. Number one, you cannot miss one word. You know how I know you can't miss one word? I could deduce it from these few lines that we just read. What's the deduction?
So go ahead.
Because what are we saying here? We're saying that these fellows, or even the rabbis, don't know what these three words are. So, but if you're allowed to miss 2-3 words in the whole Megillah, so why can't you just say that the rabbis is no less than if he missed 3 words?
I find it very hard to believe that they don't know these 3 words. It's translated in English perfectly clear to me.
Yeah, but it was the question is, where'd they get that from?
I don't know, these great sages can have deep insights into Torah beyond anyone's belief, and they can't figure out these 3 words that are actually pretty benign words.
But they're not regular words which we just have through the Chumash. Open up the Chumash, and I challenge you to find me Ashtrachanim B'nei Aramachim in the Chumash. Anyway,
we know B'nei.
B'nei, yeah, B'nei I know. I know B'nei. What's Ashtrachanim and what's Ramachim? Anywhere. How do you know that? Maybe. Who told that?
That's correct, Mike? How do you know that's not
I don't know anything's correct.
The truth is you're right. The truth is you're right, but you're jumping ahead because you saw English. But in the times of the Gemara wasn't clear about this idea. The Gemara didn't know it.
How could they be writing things that people don't know? Is my question.
How could who be writing?
They're writing the Megillah. How are they writing things that people don't know what the words are?
In the times of Mordechai and Esther, they understood it. But it seems to be a Persian word. And because it's a Persian word, comes 500 alive. Okay, call him up. Try it out. But it comes out that 500, 1,000 years later, when they were out of Persia, no one knew the meaning of these 2 or 3 words. It's interesting interesting idea. When exactly did they lose that translation? It's very interesting. It's a good question what you're asking. When did they lose that?
I think it's a better question is how do these great sages who have like an insight, like they can understand Torah, they can understand the ideas that Moshe Rabbeinu's had,
Yeah.
but they can't figure out the translation.
Because that requires divine spirit. What these sages are is they're very, very smart, and they have help. They have help from heaven, but it's not a miracle. What's written here is not a miracle that the sages just close their eyes.
I heard it kind of is. I heard that Rashi had a divine insight. Like God touched his eyes and was able to interpret it from Torah and share the wisdom. That's what I heard.
He did have help. But usually the way it works is that we learn the Torah and we have to think hard. You got to think very hard. You got to use your brain. So the stages, these 3 words, they said we never had that before. Maybe they'll get divine spirit if they would got the Ruach HaKodesh, the divine spirit. Then that can help them get the meaning. But usually that's not how they work. Usually the way they work is they work hard. They look around the whole Chumash. Did we ever see the word Achashtronim anywhere? No. Ramachim anywhere? No. They did a computer check. Nowhere in the whole 24 books. They never found
Let
it.
me go a little further. Isn't a mare a female horse?
Yes.
Isn't a
The child of a donkey and horse.
Right, so that's why.
So I will tell you where they got the translation from, but I'm just explaining to you that in the Gemara's times, the Gemara didn't know where the word came from. The etymology was unclear. Now, later on in the later generations, Rashi on the Megillah, right? Rashi, not in the Gemara, when he wrote his commentary on the Megillah, Rashi said the following words.
We'll say
This is last night's class. Here we go. Rashi said the following words here. They are, Achashtronim is swift camels. Swift camels. That's what Rashi said. Rashi might have went to Persia and he actually maybe asked him. Maybe that's how he came out with it. The Ibn Ezra, he was from the times of this in Spain. He lived in Spain around maybe the Spanish Inquisition. Ibn Ezra said that it was a species of mules. Achashtronim is a species of mules. Ramachim are mares. Mares. A mare is a female horse.
So Rashi said something different.
Yeah, this is not. They're not going with Rashi here. They're going with Ibn Ezra.
Because a horse can make a camel. But a horse can make a mule.
That's what
Rashi didn't say it made it. Said it was
Swift camels. Rashi said Achashtronim is a swift camel. Achashtronim b'nei Ramachim is a type of camel.
That's right. That's a good question.
They went with the article went with the Ibn Ezra that it was a species of mares, mules intermixed with a mare. Ramachim, Achashtronim is the mule, is the son of a mare. Yeah. So this is the argument here. But in any event, what we're coming out from this whole argument here is we can learn out two things. The first thing we can learn out is that you are not allowed to miss out one word. When you are coming this Saturday night to hear the Megillah, you know where you should sit? Which seat should you pick? Front seat. Because if you're in the back and you hear that someone starts having a coughing fit or some baby starts crying, you have to hear every word. How do I know you have to hear every word? Because if you could miss out on 2-3 words, then what's the Gemara saying? Ravina says, we ourselves don't know what these 3 words mean. How do we fulfill our obligation? That means he had a question. If the great sages don't know what these Achashtronim and Ramachim are, how do the great sages fulfill their obligation? So the question is, what do you mean? I'll tell you how you fulfill your obligation. Because make believe you close your ears and you miss 3 words. Can't you fulfill your obligation if you miss 3 words also? Let's say you sneeze for a minute. Right? Let's say you go out to the bathroom. Right? If you could fulfill your obligation with missing 3 words, then there would be no proof from the fact that they fulfill their obligation, even though they don't know what the words Achashton B'nei Ramachim mean.
You have to hear even the words you don't understand.
So from the fact that he said that we don't know these 3 words, and still we fulfill our obligation, it must be that you can't even miss 3 words. You can't even miss 1 word. And on that he said, oh, I can't even miss 1 word. I can't even miss Achashtronim. So I'm listening, but I don't even know what it means. So how do I fulfill my obligation?
Listen to every word.
And that he said, you're right. Because you heard the word, you don't have to know what it means. Why not? Because the point is, read it, listen, which is reading, and for assuming needs to publicize the miracle. That's your obligation. But you have to hear every word. If you miss a word, then you don't get your mitzvah. Because I see from this Gemara that you can't even miss a word. If you could miss a word, then I would have a simple idea how everyone, all the great rabbis, fulfilled their mitzvah. They didn't know what Achashton B'nei Ramachim meant, but they didn't have to, because they could just close their ears for 2 words. I'm entitled. 2, 3 words, you can miss out. So I close my ears, or I don't close my ears.
They would have understood every word they heard.
And then they'll understand everything else.
They'd understand what you're listening.
Right. Yeah. Right. So why can't, if they could understand, so they could have just closed their ears by Achashton B'nei Ramachim. Or you have to close your ears. It can't be worse if I go out. So I'll just stay here and make believe I'm out.
Well, we do try and drown out the word Haman.
You have to hear the word Haman.
We have to not hear the word.
You have to do both. You got to bang by Haman, but if you notice,
It's always a little bit after.
no, so what you notice, either it's after, sometimes they'll be late on the game. Depends who's there. If you got little kids, they get you right away. Haman, they're out. But if you got older people, then they'll miss it out. But what you'll notice is that if you have a good reader, he'll go back and read the word Haman after they finish banging. In order that you should get that word. Excellent point. Excellent point. You know what? So you'll notice, it's a funny thing. He'll say Haman again. Haman. And the reason is so you should get that word. Because you didn't hear it, because they were banging.
Hear every word.
Very beautiful. So that's the first thing you learn out from the Gemara. And the second thing that you learn out from the Gemara is that this idea that you have to, it's only when you read it in Hebrew. Only when you read the Megillah in Hebrew. It doesn't work in other languages. There's a question, could you read the Megillah in English? Could you read it in other languages? So there's one problem with reading the Megillah in English. What's the problem with reading it in English?
Let's go to the next mission. Let's go. Hidashti is VP.
What do you think?
I was Mekadesh, my daughter.
Somehow it's not kosher?
Is there any problem with reading the Megillah in English?
Well, there's no problem with it, but you're saying you won't get the mitzvah.
Why not?
Well, the mitzvah is to read and to publicize. I guess.
Is there any words that will not be clear when you read the Megillah?
We don't have to understand any of the words anyway.
Okay, fine. You got to read them all. Which word are you going to read when you get to Perek Yud? Right, Perek Tes, we're at Perek Tes, verse 10. What are you going to read when you're reading it in English? Right? Verse 10, what we're holding in right now. We're holding about the Achashton B'nei Ramachim.
You don't know what word is that.
What are you going to read if you're reading it in English?
Do the mares.
You can do the mares.
That could be wrong.
Rashi said you should do camels.
That's a good point.
Very good point.
So aggravating.
You have to read those words. That can't.
So what are you going to do?
Freshman A.
So what are you going to do it in Hebrew?
Yeah, you just do the
Switch back to Hebrew.
So you're asking a great question. The Chavetz Chaim asked the question. The Chavetz Chaim says, but you can't read the Megillah in 2 different languages at once. Because you're not allowed to read it in 2 different languages at once. So you're stuck. Can't switch back. He brings very beautiful what you're saying, but he says you can't read it with a different type of translation. You can't switch.
Even the rabbis are against me.
You can't switch the middle. You got to pick one and go with that one, a whole Megillah.
And it has to be Hebrew.
Well, it could have been English, but you got to make sure you get it right. But you can't switch a middle unless you can't switch. So you got to pick one. You pick English, you're going to be stuck. If you go with Rashi, go with Ibn Ezra.
So if I go to this Megillah reading on Saturday night and do it in English, what am I going to say?
You're going to ask them.
It's the Annex they're Orthodox. I figure it's going to be in Hebrew, but am I going to eat the mitzvah?
If they do it in Hebrew or English, you're going to ask them. Raise your hand when you can't talk out, but ask them before and say, "What are you going to do when you get up to this verse?" It's a big problem. If you don't believe me, I'll show you it brought down in the Mishnah Berurah. Right? If you want to see it in the Mishnah Berurah, take a look. This is Siman Tuf Reish Stat.
I'm doing all this not to get a mitzvah.
If you miss a word, is that why?
I'm only going through this to get the mitzvah.
So you better do it right.
So I want to.
Imagine.
I'm not going to waste my whole night.
You better go to a different place. Imagine somebody goes looking for an asterisk for hours and hours, and then
During Yom Kippur.
let's say a guy looks for an asterisk and a lulav, and he goes and he checks and he looks, and then he doesn't know if the asterisk is kosher. He's only doing it to get a mitzvah. But you got to make sure you got to go to the rabbi, make sure it's good. Make sure you do the mitzvah.
I have a question. So if you miss a word, is that why there's multiple readings?
What do you do if you miss a word? So if you miss a word, you're allowed to read it yourself.
The whole thing, though.
That word.
Just that word.
That word.
So I can listen to the first half in one reading and then come back, still in Purim, and listen to the second half.
Well, you can't speak out. You're middle. You got to read it straight. You can't read it out of order.
Right, in the right order. I could come and listen to the first half, leave, and then come and catch the second half.
No, but you can't take a break. You can't take a break. You have to do it straight because the mitzvah is in progress. It's like when you say a bracha for tefillin, you got to put it in the tefillin right away. You can't wait.
Yeah. Then it says.
You can't wait. Then you got to start it right away. Okay, Mara, we do. I don't think there's enough. Is anyone outside? Is anyone outside? So should we do a minute?
No, I don't need it.
Should I stop the
3:30?
You do Mara? You want to do Mara?
It was amazing how it disappeared.
Okay, so we'll stop here. We'll see if there's a minion. But that's the idea here. The idea is if you miss a word, so say it right away. You can't take a break because your mitzvah is in motion. It's like you make a bracha for tefillin, and then you don't tie it. You got to tie it right away, right after you make the blessing, because the mitzvah is waiting to be done.
I don't understand. I'm listening to the Megillah, listening to every word, and then a baby cries in front of me. Somebody's holding a baby and they start crying, and I missed 3 words.
So they have Charles. They have at the call at 9:30.
Okay, thank
you. Yeah.
And I continue listening to the rest of it, but I missed 3 words.
If you're reading and then
I'm sitting there listening very attentively, trying to catch every word. A baby cries.
Yeah.
And I miss 3 words. It drowns out 3 words. I can't hear it. And then I continue listening. I'm not gonna, so I miss 3 words in the middle, and I continue hearing. I get the rest of it. I haven't done the whole mitzvah.
No good.
So then I have to, next time I come, I have to hear the whole thing again.
Right. Right.
And I have to hear those 3 words that I missed the first time, or I have to hear the whole thing. So I have to do the whole thing uninterrupted.
Not fair, because you can't go out of order. So what you got to do is, right when you hear the baby crying, you got to say those 3 words quickly. To yourself.
But aren't I going to miss the next words? So
you got to go fast
and catch up.
So you might have to do 4 words because you missed one other. Quickly do 5 words and then you catch up. Yeah, until you catch up. But you can't do the whole Megillah like that.
Oh my God. No kids allowed.
But you can't do the whole Megillah because you can't let you read the whole thing out of your Chumash because you're supposed to read it from a Megillah, from the real script. So you can only parts. You can't read the whole thing from your regular Chumash, but parts you're allowed to fill in.
Do people follow along with their Chumash?
Everyone does, sure. But you see people have a Megillah, you know why? Because then they could read even half of the Megillah, more than half within it, because that's a real Megillah. Like he's the one who's reading the Megillah. Right. So that's the idea here that he says over here, he says in the Mishnah Berurah.
She was quiet for years.
No, we're talking about when she is in
okay. It's a little bit, be ready for Monthly Shabbos. Everyone should have a beautiful Purim. For Mon May, we'll spread the miracle. Okay, and we'll look up. We have to see. That's why I said.
I got a Persian friend. I'll call him after.
Okay, very good. Good job, guys. Shkaya. Yeah, let me be in touch with you.
Let me know.
I'll give you a ring. Beautiful. It's a good question that you're asking. It's an interesting idea. You see, we're coming after the fact. We're coming after Rashi, after Art Scroll.
I got high hopes for you, Rabbi.
We're coming later, but in the Gemara's times, the Gemara had a question about this.
It's a fascinating thought. I thought all Hebrew came from the Chumash.
Means it's in his power. Like we learned
Yeah, but
before,
these
we all
words,
know
certain
that
words
not in
the Tanakh, in the 24 books of the prophets, certain ones, right, seems to have crept in different words, because this was the story. Mordechai sent them on these swift camels. What do you want the Chumash to write? That they were horses? You should write sus for a horse. It wasn't a horse.
Right.
Should you write a cow? It wasn't a cow.
Animals.
So how did they make up the word?
But we want to show you what animal it was. We want to show you it was the fastest of the fast animals. Because he had to get the decree out very fast so all the Jews would know to defend themselves.
Our fastest animals.
Which one?
To be Mekadosh or Greasy again.
Fastest animals for what? Like a horse is fastest for like 100 yards, and the camels are fastest.
Okay, so you could do that. So they wrote the specific type of animal in the Purim story because that's the animal they sent.